Hi, everybody see us? Able to see us, right? Okay. Hi, everyone. Wish you have a wonderful day. This is Raymond from Asia Business Center. We are pleased to arrange this webinar by sharing the new knowledge that we knew. In 2020, remote work in the age of the COVID-19 make a great impact for our working habit. Today, we are going to share with everyone how we can equip our business by setting up a multi-currency account remotely. Let me introduce you Mr. Mutiwazuka, the director and the founder of Limbi Consulting Limited. Mr. Mutiwazuka focuses on providing global incorporation solutions for his clients mainly located in Europe and Africa. In 2019, AsiaBC acquired Limbi Consulting Limited as a strategic partner by providing full range of the comprehensive incorporation, banking, accounting solution in Hong Kong to our existing clients. Before I pass the time to him, I would like to share a surprise gift that we are going to offer you, everyone. Thanks for your participation. Let me disclose this gift by the end of the webinar. Now, let me pass the time to Mr. Mutiwazuka.
Welcome everybody, and Raymond, thank you so much for those kind words. It's really much appreciated. I've been working with AsiaBC for the past year, and yeah, we've gone through a couple of trials and tribulations, but of course, to make a diamond, you have to put it under some pressure, you know what I mean? So yes, it's a pleasure to have everybody, and welcome to this brief session and webinar regarding World First. So of course, we want to give you a brief outline about what the webinar will be about. And after the webinar and presentation is done, we're going to have a very short Q&A session where you guys can ask us questions about World First and what your expectations are of the platform itself. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get this started. So, of course, let's get this started. We have a brief outline over here about how the flow of this presentation is going to work. We're first going to speak about the implications regarding the COVID-19 situation and business operations in Hong Kong. Then we're going to follow that up with the meaty section detailing the World First platform. And then finally, we're going to dive into the Q&A session where you guys can ask us all the questions you have about World First itself. And so, yes, let's get this started. But before we get into the presentation, just want to reiterate that Raymond will have a surprise for everybody at the end of this webinar. So please stay tuned and buckle up. We're ready to get this started. So, of course, in regards to COVID-19 and the implications regarding business in Hong Kong, one of the main factors contributing to this economic downturn is the global travel restrictions. Now, I'm assuming that everybody attending this session is not a Hong Kong resident. This is the reason why I thought it'd be necessary to just give you guys some information regarding the COVID-19 conditions here in Hong Kong. So recently it was announced in June the 2nd actually, that the travel ban for foreigners coming into Hong Kong will be extended until September 18. And I can imagine this is a pretty depressing factor for everybody wanting to do business in Hong Kong. So to put it simply, all non-Hong Kong permanent residents would not be allowed to enter into Hong Kong. And if you are a Hong Kong resident, if you do have a work visa or dependent visa or anything along those lines that permits you to come into Hong Kong, you will have to undergo a 2-week quarantine. I think that is a global type of mandatory requirement. And if you have any further questions regarding this, then we'll provide you the link that you see over there on the screen for you to have a bit of an idea in regards to the quarantine process. So, of course, let's get into World First and who they are and what type of platform they are providing. So I want to start this presentation off with a question for everybody and telling us, does anybody have an idea what a fintech company is? If you do, I'll give you a few seconds to type it out and give me the answer. If you don't, then let's see if someone can provide the answer for us. Go ahead, we're waiting for anybody to give us the answer. Or you can just quickly Google it and let us know. Okay, I can imagine that European, he's quite quick with the answer over there. He doesn't know what a multi-currency account is or what a fintech company is. So just to put it very briefly for you guys, a fintech company is a company operating in Hong Kong, licensed by the Hong Kong authorities to provide online multi-currency accounts for the receipt and payment of funds across the platform. I also see Sheila did mention over here that it's a finance company using technology. I mean, that's a very good summarized assessment of what a fintech company is, of course. And just to give you a little bit more information in terms of what World First is, it operates similarly to a traditional bank account. In regards to your company will have its own unique account number, which enables your company to receive both payments and make payments to traditional bank accounts. So, of course, as you can see on the screen right now, World First is a London-based international money and transfer payments business and operating across 4 continents, primarily in regions such as the EU, Australia, Canada, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Switzerland. So I do have a questions for you guys as well. Do any of you guys have businesses in these regions, such as Australia? Is there anybody from Australia here right now? Oh, Cadell, okay, lovely. What type of business do you have, Cadell? You can just let me know at the end of the webinar what type of business you do have, and yeah, we'll be looking forward to working with you. So yes, in regards to World First, one of the main attractions for the business is its ability to support over 180 currencies, and we really believe that this type of flexibility in terms of receiving and sending payments is a major advantage for the platform itself. I also see Tom Conway from EU Family Office mentioning that he has a business in all regions. So that's fantastic, Tom, and yeah, we also look forward to working with you moving forward. So let's head on to the next slide in this presentation, which is the types of World First accounts. Today, we're just going to be primarily focusing on the World account and the Marketplace Seller account. We're not going to pay too much attention to the personal account. So if you guys can just take a brief time to just read a few points about the personal account, you can do that in your time. So just to address the World account, of course, if you're into international trade or dealing with freelancers or suppliers from different countries, then this is an account specifically made or catered for you. World First additionally can also provide forward contracts where you can lock in the exchange rate to avoid any currency fluctuation losses. So I also think this is a major advantage that World First has, given that the exchange rate that you're able to lock in will obviously be lower than the traditional banks. And this is how World First will be making their money primarily. Of course, let's also look into the Marketplace Seller account, which is also primarily geared towards e-commerce businesses. So for this account, it's one of the major advantages is that it's been able to integrate over 100 marketplaces, being Shopify, eBay, Amazon, and of course, you guys can mention in the comment section other marketplaces that you guys do business with or where you conduct your operations from. Of course, they also support other payment gateways on their platform as well. So it'll be a very good idea for you guys to also get in touch with their excellent customer support team, which I'm going to touch into just now after we finish on this section. So of course, the two main accounts for World First is the World account and the Marketplace Seller account. You guys can ask me questions regarding these accounts in the Q&A session at the end, of course. So let's head into some of the pros regarding World First and why they are a fantastic platform. So you can see that we mentioned 6 very relative and of course beneficial advantages of World First. So I want to speak about the first 2, of course, being the ease of setup and the remote application. In regards to the ease of setup, we think registering your account with World First is another very great competitive advantage for these guys, given that from our experience, it takes less than 48 hours for you to register your account. If you put this in comparison with other platforms, of course, this is a very quick timeline, and we believe that it'll be something that you guys would appreciate, of course. And if we look into the remote application process for the World First account, wherever you are in the world right now, you will be able to conduct this application on your own. So one of the things that you guys do need to take into account of is that World First is only able to register accounts for businesses in Singapore, in Hong Kong, and in China. So if you do have a business anywhere else, it would not be able to support that business. So let me just repeat that again. Businesses in Hong Kong, Singapore, and in China are the only businesses that can be onboarded by World First currently. So if you look at the other points over here in terms of their advantages, there are no application setup fees. There are no fixed transaction fees. And of course, lastly, for the competitive interbank exchange rates, World First is, from my perspective, one of the best in this category, as the exchange rates that they offer, of course, lower than the traditional bank accounts or the leading banking institutions, and also very competitive against other platforms as well. So you guys can have your own idea of this and do some background research into World First and who they are. So lastly, we have some additional points that I want to mention. Of course, the other one being their customer support team, which is a fantastic support team, right? They have multiple ways for you to get in touch with them, being their hotline, their live chat, and of course, outside working hours being their email support. These guys are very well equipped to answering all your questions. So if I'm unable to answer some questions that you guys might have today, you of course can get in touch with their customer support team, who I believe that will be able to answer any technical questions that you guys may have. And yes, just to bring this to a summarized conclusion of the webinar, World First is structured to serve individuals, online centers, and businesses. And of course, my company, Limbi Consultation Limited, and Asia Business Center highly recommend World First as a go-to platform for your businesses during this COVID-19 landscape. So yes. So I do want to end this off in a very lighthearted and positive note by asking Raymond to give his own account of his world first experience as well. So Raymond, could you give us a few words as well?
Sure. Before we officially cooperate with World First, AsiaBC, we set up our own World First account, and I can share with everyone here that we had an excellent experience. We just take 6 hours to set up the bank account by submit our company document and answer 20 due diligence question. And the first payment that we received is from our clients located in Cyprus. They are sending euro dollar to us. And surprisingly, we are able to receive the euro through World First located in the Netherlands and powered by the Citibank within 1 day because both share the IBAN system, which is a lot better than receive the money in Hong Kong. Usually it takes us 5 days or 3 days to 6 days to receive the payment. So that's why I believe that we should introduce these powerful tools to everyone here.
Fantastic. I really appreciate that account of yours, Raymond, because I also want to provide some assurity to our audience over here that FinTech companies are safe to use, and FinTech companies are technically going to be the future of the banking industry. So right now, I think it'll be a good time to open the floor for the Q&A session. So the floor is yours, guys, and I wish to answer your questions as great as I can, of course. Okay, so I do see a question from Mr. 𝘎𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙪𝙥 over here. He asked, will my money be safe with World First? He's mentioning that he's a bit skeptical about FinTech accounts and FinTech companies. I believe this is a very relevant question because people are always concerned about the cybersecurity and the security of their funds within these FinTech platforms. I want to clarify this point for you guys real quick, is that World First is regulated by the Hong Kong Customs and Excise Bureau, Money Services Supervision Bureau. So of course, they have to adhere to the regulations and policies of these regulating authorities. So your money will be safe with these types of accounts. And an added point is that most recently, World First was purchased by Alibaba's Jack Ma. So just giving you guys some assurity over there. I see from Agrotext Commodities, he said, as under I have 𝑋YZ Limited. Okay, Mr. Nguyen is asking, is there a minimum and maximum limit for the account balance? Another fantastic question, of course. In regards to the maximum limit for the account balance, I don't think there is no maximum limit for the account. In terms of the minimum limit, there is no minimum limit as well. So no maximum and no minimum limit. I also see you're asking for the transaction amounts as well. Again, there's no limitations in regards to this. World First is very flexible in regards to transactions, their transfers, and such. I also see Tom has asked another question. Is FinTech best for operational type financing, not for dealing with investment funds into local businesses, which could be in excess of 1 million in some instances? That is a well-packed question, Tom. So in regards to that, right, I would advise that for World First, it's primarily geared towards trading companies. As I mentioned earlier on in this presentation, it's ideally, the world account is ideally geared towards international trade businesses. So in terms of investment funds and such, I believe it'll be a good idea for you to get in touch with their technical support team for you to ask these questions. and I see more questions coming in. And I really enjoy your engagement right now, guys, and keep those questions coming in, and I'll do my best to address each of them individually. So Sheila, you're next. You asked that you have a registered MSO company in Hong Kong, but you have a problem opening up a bank account. Would you be able to help? So let me stipulate this right now for everybody participating in this Q&A session. We will only be answering questions regarding World First itself. If you do have any questions outside these topics, of course, you can get in touch with me on my email, which is going to be put into the comment section right now, or you can also get in touch with me on LinkedIn. You can just search for me under Limbi Mutiwazuka. It's that simple for any questions outside of World First. Okay, let's see the other questions. Mr. Nguyen, how is it going to work? Is that an account that keeps our available fund on it? Yes. If you're speaking about depositing your funds into the World First account, you cannot make any physical deposits. You cannot go to the bank directly, and they do not have a bank that you can go to deposit the funds. All the transactions will be done online through the digital platform, of course. Let me see. I'll just see Mr. Tom mentioning that, okay, that's perfectly fine, and I have that requirement. Anyway, that's good, Tom. Really appreciate that. So another question is from Agrotext Commodities. Which bank platform does World First operate? I believe that's what you're trying to ask over there. World First is with Citibank right now. So they operate all their transactions through Citibank, and yeah, that's what they do right now, of course.
Let me give a little bit enhancement for the World First account. Actually, for every account holder, I call it account holder, you have your own independent account number. By providing the SWIFT code of Citibank and the branch address, actually you can send the money to your bank account, just like sending the wire transfer, tele transfer, just like the traditional bank. And at the same time, you just input this information in your invoice to bill your customer. Then your customer can also pay you by his traditional bank account or World First account or other FinTech platform by input your dedicated account number, SWIFT code, bank address, etc. So it's just like the traditional bank account.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much for that, Raymond. I really appreciate that. Just expanding on that point. I see another question from Tom. May I ask if you're using Citibank? The FinTech rules therefore under USA rules, or where? Sorry for all the questions. Don't say sorry, Tom. This is the whole purpose of the Q&A session. So feel free to ask these types of questions. So in regards to being under the USA rules and such.
Yeah, so basically, let me answer your question, Tom. For Citibank, for World First, they are working with different countries, Citibank. For example, in US, they're working with US Citibank. In Hong Kong, they're working with the Citibank Hong Kong. We call it like Citibank Hong Kong Limited. And in Europe, they're working with Citibank in Netherlands, like what I mentioned before. So they are able to help to transfer the global payment for the customer.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Raymond, for that again. So yeah, as Raymond said, that's the capabilities of the account, and also in regards to Citibank. I see Yuri Ben also asked another question. Are there any limitations on the nature of business? Of course, there are limitations on the nature of business. Similarly to traditional bank accounts, they are very, how can I say, careful in regards to the nature of business. We can look at businesses such as cryptocurrency. We can look at businesses such as gaming or gambling. Of course, they will not onboard any of these high-risk businesses. So just make sure that you're not a part of that restriction list, and they'll be able to onboard you, of course. Another interesting question that I want to highlight is in terms of nationality as well. Given that 𝘼𝙡𝙡 just mentioned this, right? In regards to nationalities, they don't onboard any high-risk nationalities or sanctioned countries, of course. So if you form any of these high-risk or sensitive regions, World First will not be the platform for you. I see Agrotest Commodity is asking some questions again in terms of CRS and factor implications. Raymond, would you like to expand on that?
Actually, the underlying service provider, which is Citibank, right? So is also subject to the anti-money laundering and also the CRS, all these requirements. But what I can say is traditional bank, they have a very strict bank account opening procedure. They conduct very complicated due diligence in order to judge whether they open the bank account for the applicant. But for the FinTech account, their logic is different. They set up the bank account relatively easier. Okay, so when after the applicant they have their bank account, then they starting to operate a bank account. Our experience is that for the first time transaction, the bank, the World First account, World First customer service team usually ask the clients to provide their transaction proof. For example, the contract, bill of lading, or invoice. As long as the client's able to provide the proof, then usually for the second time and so on, it is free for the customer to transfer the money freely. So compare with the traditional account, I can conclude that is a lot flexible compared with the traditional banking.
Yes, of course. So yes, if you guys do have any other questions right now, then please let us know and we can address them.
Yeah, and actually we feel happy for everyone's participation, and we have a certain we have an instant offer. Actually, we would like to offer everyone who had asked the question in the Q&A session a free World First account. Okay, a free World First account. So our colleague will contact you directly. Okay, after our webinar, then you can get our referral link and register the World First account directly. Okay, without any fee.
Yeah, I can see, Mr. Nguyen, you're quite happy about
Congratulations.
that. I can see you're quite happy about that. So yeah, just to reiterate that again, we're going to be offering everybody who just asked us questions a free World First account. We'll be sending you that referral link for you to register the account, and of course, we hope that you do that soon. So just to wrap up the whole session right now, we have Raymond that is obviously right now going to be letting you guys know about the special gift that we mentioned earlier on with in the webinar. So Raymond, I'm going to leave the floor to you, and here we go.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mutiwazuka, for conducting a wonderful sharing with us. I believe everyone has some intake regarding the bank account options. Moreover, today we have prepared an exclusive gift, just $999 discounted package of company incorporation bundled with a multi-currency account for everyone who attend the webinar. So if you haven't formed any Hong Kong company, just come to us right now so you can enjoy an easy all-in-one solution. Feel free to register via the link provided in the chat box now. to get the special gift so that you can start your money transfer right away by getting a multi-currency account within 1 day. Don't miss this chance. Simply register right now.
Fantastic. So just to reiterate that again, guys, special gift for you right now, all-in-one Hong Kong company formation package with a free multi-currency account. This offer is going to be only available until the 3rd of July for everybody that registers with us during this session. And we really appreciate everybody giving us your time today to attend the session and basically give us your presence and your spirit and your energy. Of course, you can reach me, Limbi, on my email address, limbi.m@asiabc.com.hk, or you can even reach Raymond on his email address as well. You can see the email addresses in the comment box right now. And yes, in the future, we hope to be hosting more similar sessions just like this to provide you guys with some updates regarding the Hong Kong business environment and the solutions that we do provide here at Limbi Consultation Limited and also at Asia Business Limited. So again, thank you guys for attending the session, and we hope to be hosting you guys again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.